Most people are playing career mode completely wrong, and it's making the game too easy. There's just one scary little setting that transformed this game from a 6 out of 10 to a 9, and once you try it, you'll probably never go back. For the past few days, there's been quite a lot of praise for FC26's gameplay. I wasn't really feeling it myself, at least in career mode, until I changed this one setting: manual passing. When combined with authentic gameplay, the game now feels so free, so fun, and also so tough, and half a season later, I can safely say it's my favourite footballing experience for years. Now, I know what you're thinking: manual passing, there's no chance I'm good enough to use that. I know it sounds intimidating, it feels like the setting is only for realism lunatics and people who just try too hard when they play football games. But that's exactly why I wanted to go a little bit in depth on why you need to try it, and how it completely changes FC26. When I decided to give this a go myself, I also wanted to pick a really bad team to try it with. I wanted to have really slow gameplay, thanks to authentic. I wanted to have some scrappy footballers who weren't too good, and also me with manual passing trying to make a difference. I wasn't even sure that attributes mattered on manual, but I think they definitely do. My star playmaker had about 70 short passing and 68 long passing, but he felt so much better than my 45 passing centre back. The difference wasn't just in stats though, it was also in individuality. When the ball was with someone who could actually pass a ball, it felt like the ball moved faster, it felt like there was less error on where I was aiming, and even though there was no playstyles involved, there was some difference in every aspect of passing. I've got to be honest though, the first few games were a total disaster. I would press through ball and it would go out for a goal kick. There were under-hit passes everywhere, but within about 5 games, you get a hang of it enough to draw with legendary AI, and a few games later, I actually got my first win. Winning is actually the reason that I wanted to try this in the first place. I had this feeling that assisted passing and through balls were the reason that gameplay seemed so much easier this year, and as you probably already know, passing is one of the most important mechanics in FIFA. If passing feels too simple or is too easy, then the whole game will feel too simple and too easy. How well you can move the ball basically dictates the pace and the result of most matches, and by default, it is actually quite easy to ping pong the ball around this year. Check out this clip from the Ultimate Team Pro Crazy that someone put over on the FIFA Careers Reddit. Playing like this is definitely fun and needed in Ultimate Team, where you have to do that to create space, but it's also kind of ridiculous that it's replicable inside career mode. Now, if we compare that ping-ponging around to manual gameplay, every pass is a total risk. Every angle has to be considered, and suddenly, I was thinking about football again when I played, not just hitting 1-2s to my attacking midfielder and then playing a weighted through ball to my striker to score. Every goal that I score felt like I had earned it, and I promise, I am not exaggerating when I say that. Watching that ping pong football in Ultimate Team was one of the main reasons I wanted to play career mode with manual passing from now on. I'd never tried it really in the past, and this is what my first few games look like and what yours might look like if you give it a go too. To be honest, they were brutal. I would underhit basically every single pass, and getting to learn how to use the power bar was actually a lot harder than learning how to aim, which I did find quite surprising. I didn't realise how much assistance semi-automatic passing had actually given me. But slowly, I was able to string more and more passes together, and even though I was still underhitting the ball every now and then, I could get near to the box and thankfully still use my semi-assisted shooting and crossing. So while passing took a while to learn, through balls were by far the hardest thing to get right. You have to be so precise with through balls on FC26, usually you're threading it between a couple of defenders or hoping that it rolls into an area that your attacker can get to first. There are a few extra complications with through balls that took so much longer to learn. Getting the angles right, the weight right, and the power right on all of them was so tough. But when I got that first through ball kind of right, I knew that this was something I had to make a video about and share with you guys. It legitimately felt like scoring a goal, seeing the ball roll sort of towards the path of my winger. That feeling of satisfaction has never been there from passing until this switch to full manual. But now it was there, and I don't think I can ever go back to using assists. By going to manual, it made picking the right pass more difficult and made me think about being creative with the time that the AI would give me. I would naturally play slower than I would when I had assists on, so the results were closer to real life and the football looked more like real life. I wouldn't just gun it for the other team's goal on counter-attack after counter-attack, because the longer distance passes that you need to make in counter-attacks were actually so much harder to pull off. Instead, I would play slower, I'd try to keep the ball, and I think that's exactly how FC26 is meant to be played. I was able to use better players to put the ball somewhere near where I wanted it. In some cases, I could do a regular pass into a bit of space if I saw it. In others, I could angle it away from a player that was being marked in a way that assisted passes wouldn't let you get there. Like I said, the first couple of games were really tough. I lost these matches by quite a few goals, but by around game 5, I was on a similar level to before. You don't just learn manual passing, I think that your game kind of evolves around it. If you play a full season of career mode on manual passing, I promise you, you'll be a better player than you ever were with assists, and you'll have a lot more fun. I think the most surprising part of switching to manual was that the chaos was so much fun. Mistakes weren't the end of the world. Of course, on FC26 it is actually quite easy to win the ball back from the AI even on the highest difficulty. But that isn't the worst thing when your pass completion has just gone down from 95 to 65. The ball would be ricocheting off people, I'd be putting too much power on some of the passes so it would go to a totally different player, but this chaos was so fun to watch. You can make mistakes of course, but because defending hasn't changed at all, there's still a good chance that it isn't going to cost you too badly, and you do learn surprisingly quickly. I admit that I am still only halfway committed to the full manual lifestyle. Like I said, I have assisted shooting on, not even on precision. I've got crosses and lobbed passes on semi-automatic because they scare me way too much to change. But outside of the few times that I've tried to play Ultimate Team and realised manual passing was still enabled, it has actually been so fun. There's a lot more fun out there if you want to go full manual, I am totally sure of it. Maybe that's the next couple of steps for me, but manual passing, it will break you down, it'll rebuild you, and it'll probably give you the most fun that you've had in years on FIFA Career Mode. I dare you to try it, and if you do try it, then please do let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching this video. I know it's a bit of a weird one where I've just been talking about one setting in the FIFA menus, but I had to share how much I love playing on manual passing with you guys. But thanks for watching, really do appreciate it. Check out the playlist and the video on screen right now, and I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.